Welcome back to the Briggs and Brown Show. This is your boy Alex Brown with the All-Pro, All-World, that guy, future HOFer,
and handsome W.
Your guy, Lance Briggs. Hey, we really appreciate y'all joining us. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today. We ended the last one with some things that we have to address. That I know that 55 definitely wants to address, but we'll address that a little later.
Yeah.
Briggs, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, listen, I'm blessed, man. Every morning you wake up, see another day is a blessing. So
100%. Man, dog, I woke up this morning and speaking of being blessed, I woke up this morning, obviously that's a blessing in itself.
Correct.
So my lovely wife comes downstairs and she's I'm working, doing my traffic tech job. Shout out to traffic tech. If you need some freight move, holla at your boy. I got you. But she come downstairs and she's like, honey, I just looked on Facebook, the Buford Facebook, and it says somebody in Buford won the Powerball. I said, oh, did you play? She said, yes, I did. She said, I got her in the car. I was like, oh, all right. So she
did we win?
Hold on. If we won, hey, listen, I'd have been sick today. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. Nah. So she asked me, she's like, okay, so do we have any numbers where the Powerball number is 20? Yeah, we got one. What's up? What's the next number? Damn. Okay, that ain't us. But it was like,
that's as close
a little bit.
That's as close as it's ever been, huh?
Yeah. So I was like, damn. Now my question for you.
Yeah.
At 400, hold on, let me make sure I got the number right. At $478 million.
Mm-hmm.
What after you get the check? I think it'll probably end up being like 250 million. What is Boogie? What's the first thing you doing? 250 mil? What are you doing?
Well, first before I get to that check, I'm gonna be undercover. I don't want anybody to know who I am, where I'm going, and what I'm doing with my business.
Okay.
Know, until that check gets deposited.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, the younger me, I would have been flipping people off, saying this and that, you know what I mean? But I'm a much mature person today than I was back then. Okay? Listen, it's all about building the future. So for me, 478 million, woo, there's some things. Listen, what we would have to understand is when you're growing up, especially for me when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot. So you don't think you're like, man, you see these like golden toilets and stuff like that. That's dumb. I would never have something like that. What is that? And then you start making some money.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that you said you would never do, you find yourself in some Gucci slippers and Louis Vuitton. You find yourself in these expensive stores.
Silk sheets.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary, right? It's so unnecessary. So, with $478 million to at my disposal, probably going to buy a few things that I normally would not.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But I'm gonna reach out. Actually, I don't even have to reach out to friends. Once friends figure this out, they're gonna reach out to me. All right, it always happens that way. Like when I got drafted, not even when I got drafted, before I got drafted into the league. I got a whole lot of cousins. All right, a whole lot of cousins in Sacramento. Now, keep in mind, we were the only family of mine that was in Sacramento. All right, we moved away from LA, and then the rest of the family from Texas, Louisiana, and Missouri. So somehow I had a bunch of cousins from Sacramento. All right?
Yes. Oh yeah. All them Louisiana numbers started popping up.
Popping up. Popping up. So all you gotta do is sit and wait. Everybody gonna reach out to you with some sort of business idea that they can't fund, or whatever it is, this and that. So then you just sit back and decide what do you want to do.
Well, Briggs, you don't have to name names, but tell us the craziest request you had to drop a dime on, whether it was a business or something that somebody needed.
Oh, yes. So girl I went to college with called me and said she wanted a loan for a car, $7,000 loan for a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, no, no, but I did ask questions though. I said, well, first I said no. And I said, well, why do you need $7,000 for a car? You know what I mean? She said, well, my last car just got repossessed. She said, my last car got repossessed and I need a loan to get my car back. And I said, so you want a loan for a car that you weren't paying on?
Correct.
And you told me you're gonna pay me back?
No,
that's extra no. Right? That's a terrible proposal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it was just extra dumb, and I moved on from that quickly. The answer was no as soon as I opened my phone and saw that, but it was interesting enough. I entertained the conversation for at least a few minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a call from a teacher. So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not, because I know a lot of my classmates watch this and people I grew up with. So I got a call from a teacher for $500,000 to help build a center in our town. If you watched me get drafted, you saw where I went.
Yeah.
I went 4th round.
Yep.
I got $318,000 before taxes as a signing bonus. So you're gonna call me and ask me for $500,000. How does that even make sense? Like, and it was quickly, no, what?
Yeah.
How did you get my number? And then it starts to be that. It's like the people I ain't heard from in a while. And then when I signed my new deal, it was, dang, man, hey, man, dang, boy, I ain't heard from you in a minute. It's like, man, I ain't have your number. Well, somehow you found my number when I had some money, huh? Now you found my number.
Yeah, like, AB, come on, man. You know it's not hard to find you in a town of 800.
Hey, it's
not hard to find your number. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody.
But see, everybody that got my number, the 10 people in my hometown that got my number, they know not to get my number out. You don't get, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll hit Alex.
Are you sure about that?
I am positive, cuz. Positive.
Okay, all right. That 10
anybody get my number.
There's only 10 people that have your number, and nobody, and they don't give your number out, but somehow somebody got your number.
No, this was 04. So I had this, that was my college number, the 352 number that I had in college. Okay. My 217 number?
Yeah.
Oh, ain't nobody got that.
Oh, you had 2 phones?
Huh?
You had 2 phones?
No. In 2004, I still had my 352 number from college.
Okay.
When I signed my new contract. Oh. After that, in 05, I changed the number. And then I've had the same number since 05.
Okay.
And no, don't nobody have that. No. Heck no.
I change my number every 5 months.
Nah, I ain't changed it. I ain't changed it in I ain't changed that number in 20 years. So, but yeah, man, I want to win it. I want to know somebody that won it just to see how they do. And it was just one of those. So she was super pumped, and then it was equally as down. Like, oh, damn. So it was one of those things, man. So we ain't win the Powerball, so we here and we going to work.
We're here.
So we're here and we going to work. Hey, listen, I don't know about you.
Yep.
I'm calling in, man. I'm calling in sick on every job I got if I win 400 million.
You didn't win nothing. I would want it.
Nah, that's half.
There you go. There you go.
That's half. See, it's half. So she don't understand this stuff goes both ways.
Yours is hers, Holmes.
I'm gonna need my half now. what you Let me see. Where we at right now?
Well, let me ask you guys this. You know, it was the bye week, so it was an opportunity for, you know, we're always so dialed into the Bears on game day. Did you guys have a chance on Sunday to watch around the league, specifically the Packers and Lions and Vikings who faced off against each other?
Yeah, I thought that the Vikings Lions game was the best game of the weekend. It was entertaining. There were plays that were made constantly. It was a great fight all the way to the end, and the Lions finding a way to kind of assert themselves, assert their will. You know, especially toward the end, because Vikings came out. You know, they came out pouring it on, and the Lions they just kept chipping away until they won that game. So it was very entertaining.
I'm with you. I was looking at a different aspect of that game. Like you got Hutchinson that goes down, right?
Yeah.
And then during the game, I guess Montgomery got nicked up or something.
Yeah.
And then Jahmyr Gibbs had to step up and be the guy. And he's that guy, right? So he showed that he can be that guy. And it was interesting because they lose two of their best players and they still beat the hottest team, in my opinion, one of the hottest two teams.
They were undefeated. They were undefeated. Right. They were.
Kansas City is also, but I'm like, Minnesota was rolling, you know?
Yeah.
So they were able to beat that team. And it says a whole lot about their team and their makeup and how they're built. That, man, you got to bring what we used to call it. You got to bring your hard hat and your lunch pail when you play a team like that, because it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. So I like it. I love the game. The game was great.
Stafford was on. Stafford was at, I think he was at 100% at 19 completions, and then had his first incompletion at 20. He was 19 of 20.
Hold on,
Brown. He's having a senior moment here.
He is having a senior moment right now. You know, Stafford ain't played there in
Goff.
4 years. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just okay.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Listen, I said Stafford because I just saw the trade talks. Somebody wanted to trade for Stafford. Man, my fault. I know. Man, you're right. Goff.
Yeah, Goff. But he's been like that, right? Like he's been playing at that level all year.
Listen to this stat. Over the last 4 games, the Detroit Lions have more touchdowns on offense, 18, than Jared Goff has incompletions at 16 over the last 4 games. That's efficiency.
Yeah, I thought he was playing out his mind last year, and I thought he'd come back to earth. I think he just wants to live on Mars. Like, he is not coming back to earth. This kid is playing his butt off, man. He's playing his butt off. And they found a system. They found a rhythm with him with running the football, play action that he is comfortable with, that he is thriving in. And it's gonna be, that's a hell of a team, man. It's gonna take a hell of a team to beat them. So I'm
going to take a hell of a team and a hell of a game plan to beat them. You can't just you can bring players in there, but you got to have a hell of a game plan to go in there with a good team, healthy, that can go in and execute to beat the Detroit Lions.
Well, and you talk about game plan. You talk about game plan with Ben Johnson, you know, the offensive coordinator for the Lions.
Yep.
Start with you, Alex, and then I want you to answer this as well, Lance. If push came to shove at the end of the year, is there any thought that you'd want Ben Johnson as the head coach of the Bears over Matt Eberflus?
Okay, so when you have a young quarterback, a rookie, in our case, we got Caleb Williams, a rookie quarterback, and you get a OC that is good, that can help groom him and grow him and help him grow, eventually that coach is going to leave. So to not have that OC with your young quarterback be the head coach is always a sticky situation, right? I like Eberflus. I like where we're at. I like where we're at as a team. No, I wouldn't entertain it because I think we're headed down the right road. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I double down on what AD is saying right now. Look, you have with the new quarterback, when we're coming off 3 years with a young quarterback, and now we moved on from him with another young quarterback. Chicago patience has worn extremely thin at this point. So bringing in a new offensive coordinator means that we're going to have an extended amount of patience to have these two work together to get to where they need to be. Like Alex said, we're working at a pace. We're trending up and we're doing things and we're seeing improvements. That's what we want to see. Let's continue to see these improvements with who we have, that with everything intact. Because when things aren't intact, when you start fresh at any of these offensive positions, then especially the quarterback and the OC, then you're talking about having to add a lot more patience to the development.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take a quick break, and then got some things I definitely want to ask you guys about that caught the Twitter timeline here over the last.
I wonder what that was.
Some fun stuff that we'll have some fun with. But first, want to give a quick shout out to our guys over at Miller Lite. We appreciate Miller Lite here.
Yes, we do.
Hanging out. We appreciate Miller Lite all day long. And shout out to those guys for jumping on board here on the Briggs and Brown Show. Please hit that like button while you're hanging out. A lot's changed over the years. One thing that hasn't, the great taste of Miller Lite. Another thing that hasn't changed is that it's less filling. So what is the best thing about original light beer? Well, Miller Lite sparked this debate in 1975, and we still haven't settled it. Great taste or less filling. Miller Lite keeps it simple, undebatable quality, great taste, only 96 calories. Miller Lite is the official beer of the Chicago Bears. So you don't have to choose what's best. Miller Lite has great taste and is less filling. Tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/CHGO football, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. Make sure you hit up Miller Lite. And then also want to give a quick shout out here to our guys over at CHSN, the brand new network that just launched. The Bulls were on last night doing everything they can to tank for Cooper Flagg. We'll see how that goes. 0-1 on the season, but we'll see how things go with the Blackhawks as well. We are sponsored by Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core, and they're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our 77 fine neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit chsn.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and White Sox games all season long. We appreciate CHSN as always. And then really want to give a quick update for those of you that don't know, on Sunday, this Sunday, October 27th, starting at 2 p.m. Hell, I'm going to be there probably right at kickoff for the noon games at Almost Home Tavern and Grill in Wrigleyville. Make sure you come on out to our watch party. We're going to be doing a live pre- and post-game show. Even going to have ourselves a live Briggs and Brown show at Almost Home. Have some fun. One of the biggest games of the year. We're going to be talking about the Bears and Commanders game here later on. We'll see if Jaden Daniels wants to join the party. Obviously battling through some rib injuries. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it for that one, because it's a big showdown. Because if the playoffs started today, obviously we still have a long way to go, but if the playoffs started today, guys, the Bears would be traveling to Washington for a first-round matchup as the standings sit, and all four NFC North teams currently are in the playoffs if they were to start today. But again, long way to go. So, again, I teased this before the break. We had a little interesting thing come across the timeline. The day Kyle Rudolph met Lance Briggs. And he had a pretty funny story here attached to this. I'm going to play it, and then I want to get your reaction, Lance, and get your thoughts on this as well, Alex, because it was pretty funny story here from former Vikings tight end Kyle Rudolph.
What's the hardest you've ever been hit by any player?
LanceBriggs.
Oh,
Chicago.
Yeah. He had a lot of muscle behind him.
It was the Sunday after Thanksgiving. We were playing in Chicago, noon kickoff. I was running like a crossing route. I didn't get the ball, and he came down and just like smoked me. Probably would be a penalty today.
Yeah. Do you get mad about that?
I was like sitting on the ground, and it was kind of like one of those things. I was collecting my thoughts. Didn't really hit me right away. I was like, okay, like he hit me pretty good. Go back to the huddle. The next play was 4th and goal. We ended up turning it over on downs, went to the sideline. I think the Bears went 3 and out. They punted it back to us, and then like we went 3 and out on the next drive when we got the ball back, and it was autopilot.
That boy forgot the whole damn game.
Listen, you know, we're years removed from the league now. We're years, you know, I have a lot of respect for Kyle. You know, one of the things about that play, because he actually mentioned that when I was on the top 100, you know, when I think it was my lowest number, like 20, I don't know, 23, 25, somewhere around there. Yeah, I was for the NFL top 100. That was, you know, Kyle. They interviewed Kyle, and when he talked about it, he said, "No, like I've never been hit as hard as LanceBriggs," and they showed the clip. So what happened was, you know, when you break down your opponent, when they get into the red zone, when Vikings get into the red zone, Kyle Rudolph gets the ball. I mean, it goes from like 20% chance of him getting the ball to like 85 because they were throwing it to him in the red zone all the time. He was scoring a lot of touchdowns for him. So as soon as we get into the red zone, I know based off of this formation, he's coming across the field. Now, what I was really good at doing was not allowing people to know that I was going to hit him. So I'm looking at the quarterback, but I can see him out of the corner of my eye coming. I know the route. I look at him. I know exactly the path that he's coming on. Mm-hmm. Oh, as he gets close, I'm still looking at the quarterback, right? So as he gets close, I'm looking at the quarterback, and I lean into it and get. I mean, I'm telling you, you know when you feel the, you know, right? I all of that. I felt, you know, it was a solid hit. And after I hit it, I'm still looking at the quarterback. I'm moving to where the ball is going, you know, and so. You know, and we get into those times now where soon as we see something off, like especially if it's a good player, you know, like a Jason Witten, you know, Jason Witten, love the guy, you know what I mean? But if he gets the ball so much that if you see something, you're yelling to the referee right now, hey, concussion!
Yeah, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here.
Right? But look for that. Any slight movement wrong.
Yeah. Any wobble. Yeah. Get him up out of here.
Get him out of there. Shoot.
No, that's crazy because I remember a few hits like that where you catching a joker come across the middle and it was not fun. I didn't want any of that. So I'm glad I played on the same side of the football. I'm good to go. I can celebrate with you after you made those big hits, but those big hits is why you are headed to the places you're headed to.
Now, Alex, did you ever run into Lance on the, get one knocked from him, like a little friendly fire in the game? You ever catch one from Lance?
That's Peanut.
That's Peanut. Yes, Peanut would always catch some friendly fire.
Oh, good Lord. I'm telling you, though, if you can catch this film on the friendly fire that hit Peanut and what he used to say, I'm telling you, I mean, I flew into, especially the younger years, the first 3 to 4 years. I'm telling you, I'm right at the guy will duck right as I get to him, and I fly right over him, and I hear, it's Peanut that's trying to get out.
Hey, you better get him down over there trying to peanut punch. You better get him down because you know the other 10 horses coming, boy. Hey, we are running to the football with bad intentions.
Listen, Peanut probably would have 20 more forced fumbles if it wasn't for friendly fire.
Seriously, like man. So he learned how to get that ball out quick. because you know them boys coming, man. We coming out of joke ahead, but we ain't playing no game. So it was one of like back then though. It was almost even like, hey, just hold him up. I got it. Hey, don't worry. Just hold him up.
Oh yeah,
I'm 100 miles an hour.
Whoa! Because when you're running to the ball, you hate when you get all the way close to the ball and then they blow the whistle.
Yep.
You know, which is one of the reasons why I really hated running at quarterbacks that were running it to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You know they're gonna step out.
Yeah, they're gonna step out, but some of them they'll want to get to the sideline and then try to tippy-toe a few extra yards.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to sprint all the way there, and then you just got to let them go. You know, and that's a pain in the. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
So when you see somebody holding somebody up, you know, and you're running, you're like, hold him up. Ooh, you know, bang.
Which helps with people talking about, oh man, I can't believe he did that. You got to be smarter than that on the sideline. If you run full speed 4 times to the sideline and he step out of bounds and you can't hit him, it's gonna take you to a level like you're just gonna be like, fuck it. Like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
All right, you better be out of bounds when I get over there next time.
Completely out. The piece of your body is in.
Exactly. And Joker, man, I'm talking about it. Some of that stuff is very frustrating, but in the game, in certain situations, you have to be extra smart. But you should just make the right decision. It's hard though. It's not easy. Just pulling up and not delivering that blow to that guy. So, but yeah, that's crazy, man. That is wow. I was hit a couple times like that, or hit somebody and felt like that, where everything in your head's ringing, like you barely can see, like you see like little dots and stuff, and you're like, all right,
dots, boy.
All right, collect yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
And then Peyton Manning already to the line. You're like, oh shit, man.
But you know, it's the same thing it's the same thing with a body part. You know what I mean? So I've had no feeling in my arm.
Yes.
I've had no feeling in my arm, and it's because this isn't the first time this has happened. It's because, you know, I'm all the way back down to when I was in youth football when it first happened, and I was like, Coach, you know, and he said, well, get out, you know, and I went out. And after that first play, I was like, oh, my feelings back. Yeah. Ready to go, Coach. He said, nope, you're hurt. All right. I had to wait out. I was like, shoot, I ain't doing this again. Yep. So now, you know, you're in the league.
Play through it.
Yep. I'm like, well, I hope they don't run to my right, because I'll be no good to my right. I'm like, all right, here we go.
When it start coming back, you feel like, all right, okay, now y'all come on over here this time, like come on. But that first play, you're like, nah, please don't run over here. Please don't run over here. Let it be something easy, like for us, like a draw play, right? He ain't firing off the ball. He's just trying to position himself just to keep me away from the lineman. All right, we make a tackle for a 2-yard gain. All right, cool. All right, my arm. All right, my feelings back. All right, let's go.
Brother, we played Washington. We played Washington. I want to say, I don't know if it was 04. It was I think it was the same game that Zoom had. I think he had 2 picks.
Yep.
All right, but I don't know if you remember this, but at that time I was playing Sam and Will, so I was playing Sam and base, and they had this fullback named Mike Sellers. Okay, Mike Sellers. And so we don't know, like he's probably about 6'3", 275 pounds. Okay. And they had Clinton Portis, and they ran ISO. They ran ISO at least, I want to say 10 times in that first half. And a lot of it was in that first quarter. So it was me and Mike Sellers. Okay. He's 275 at the time. I'm probably about 240, maybe 239, right around there. Okay. And when I tell you it's full speed, bang, bang, 10 times in a row. The ninth time, you know, you talk about stars and all this stuff. And the ninth time, I was like, man, in my head. Now, nobody else knows. This is the battle that's going on in my head. My body was saying, my brain and body said, Lance, listen, I don't know how much more of this you can do. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how much more of this you can do. Right? Yeah. And then there's the other part of my brain said, you always got one more in you. Right? You always got one more.
You always got one more.
So right before the half, there's another ISO. I'm like, I'm like, fuck it. Here we go. I go to hit him, and I feel him buckle a little bit. I feel him, when people don't understand about this.
Oh.
Right. It's a battle of wills. It was a battle of wills. And for me, I felt him buckle that I didn't feel this the last 9 times.
Yeah.
So, for me,
that gave me a little more juice.
His brain was saying the same thing. But he didn't have that other guy that said, you got one more.
Yeah. Right. No, I got a story about that. Like, so in college, I'm going off. My sophomore year, I'm going off. I got 8. Let me see, 1, 1.5, 5, and then 1. I had 9.5 sacks in 4 games. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
The next game is Sean Alexander, Chris Samuel, Alabama at home.
Okay.
Let's ride. Let's go. I don't care. I am new at defensive end. This is my first year playing defensive end. I'm just speed up the field. These fat boys can't do nothing with me. I'm just running past them. They can't do nothing. No. Chris Samuel introduced me to an athletic tight end or left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Samuel, no matter what I did, it was kick, boom. I was like, oh, jeez, okay. That I ain't felt that one. Dang. It's like, all right, hey, you know what? Yeah, okay. I give him the look. I give him the look, and I got him. Boom. I was like, oh, gee, coach, it ain't working. This ain't working right here. No, when we played Washington, I remember that. So he got drafted. So him, LeVar went back to back, number 2 and number 3, I believe it was, to Washington. So when we played Washington, I ain't forget. Yeah. I'm trying to win. And I got a sack on him, boy. I was so proud of myself. Like, hell yeah. Yes. Like, boy, came a long way, boy. This boy here, he was beating the brakes up. So in that game, I broke my thumb, like right here on this. I broke that, right? So I had a cast on from here to here the rest of the season.
On the styloid?
What?
No, that's not. That's over here. No. I'm thinking the bone.
Oh, no.
I broke both of these over here on mine.
Oh. I played with a cast on the rest of the year.
Yeah, you clubbed it up.
So I only, but I only got the rest of the year, I only had 4 sacks the rest of the year because I had the cast on.
Wait, what you say?
If I didn't have that cast on, I'd have had 20 sacks that year. 100%. Because I played 4 games, I had 9.5. I played the rest of the season with a cast on.
No, wait, hold on. You had 9.5 in how many games?
4.
Which is amazing. And then how many?
Now let's do it with one hand.
How many did you have the rest of the year?
4.
4?
4.
Okay, so you underperformed.
No. I had one hand.
Listen, why are you playing then? Why are you playing?
Because I am the guy. I have to play. What are you talking about? This is the same thing that you said.
4 games. I need 9.5.
They ain't taking me out. No, I ain't gonna go out now. No.
What's the most sacks?
I missed like 3 or 4 sacks in that, like because of this damn cast. But I was so mad, golly, boy. I would have had 20. I'm telling you.
Lance is laughing though, Alex. So, what's the most sacks you had in a season, Alex?
13.
And then, what's the most sacks you've had in a season, Lance?
Not nowhere near 13.
that record still stands 25 years later at University of Florida. That record still stands.
That's huge.
Like 13, 5 sacks in one game. That still stands. And the 33 sacks in a career still stands. Yeah. I still got 3 records. Oh, yeah.
You have 33 sacks in your career?
Yeah. Well, college, yeah.
Well, college.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I look at that puts a lot of stuff in perspective because Teddy Bruschi had 54 sacks in his career.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy amount because what you had is a crazy amount to me too.
Yeah, but Teddy, like y'all play out there, like he was on the field a lot, you know. So like we play in the SEC one. We're in the SEC. If I go to 8, like no, like not kidding. You said Teddy Bruschi. You know who else had all them damn sacks? It was
Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs had like 26 sacks his senior year or his last year in college. Like who is anybody blocking? Like
that's why he's first.
Now I will say this.
He's a Hall of Famer.
No, he is.
He's the same thing in Baltimore.
I'm about to say it because this right here didn't work well for me. I'm trying to think of the kid name. I say the kid, we're the same age, but a left tackle for ASU.
Not Willie Anderson.
No, I think he got drafted to Cincinnati.
Yes, So I know you're talking about. It's not Willie Anderson.
No, it wasn't Willie Anderson. It wasn't Willie Anderson. He got drafted the same year I came out. So 02 got drafted because I want to say he was first. Dog, this boy, when I tell you that guy right there, I don't see my Christmas card come in, but he should give me a Christmas card every single week, every year rather, because he beat the shit out of me at the Senior Bowl, and his stock just took off because everybody was looking at me like, "Oh, he ain't gonna touch Alex." And
there's no way an ASU guy or a Pac-12 guy can hang with an SEC guy.
No, listen. I had no answers. At the Senior Bowl. I had no answers to this young man. He killed me. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Like, I couldn't do nothing, bro. I couldn't do nothing. I didn't know. So now let's keep in mind. Now this is my 3rd year playing in. I played linebacker my whole life,
right,
until my sophomore year where I moved to defensive end. So
our move.
Was it Levi Jones?
There it is.
Levi Jones. That's him.
Levi Jones.
Yep. Levi Jones. Oh my gosh. Levi. Hey, a message, a card, or something. Just say, hey, B, hope all is well, man. Appreciate you. Hey, Levi beat the brakes off me, man. God dang, I couldn't do nothing. Nothing at the Senior Bowl.
Let me ask you guys this, because you guys, this is something that we haven't brought up on this show yet, and certainly interested to hear your thoughts. You talked a little bit earlier about, players getting their bell rung. It's a part of the sport, and I'm sure all of you have experienced it at one time or another in your careers. But now the NFL is starting to institute these guardian caps that you're starting to see players around the league choose to wear. So just curious your guys' thoughts on these and, the effectiveness they may or may not have. And if you guys would have ever considered using it if you needed to in your playing career.
Listen, it's interesting that you say this, man, because I have my oldest son, Lance Jr., wearing that right now, and if it was available when we were playing, I absolutely would wear it. I'd wear it. Anything that has to do with a guy that's flying around and you're banging around every play that can in any way help either reduce or minimize, absolutely. But I have my son wear it because my son, he's very old school. He similar to his father. He likes to run and he likes to hit everything moving. And so now that this technology is available, it just, to me, it makes a lot of sense for him to wear it. And it doesn't affect his play in any way. Doesn't impede him from doing what he's got to do. But if you play that way, when I love the way he plays, sometimes, with good football players, I think the coaches are supposed to. That's why every player is different, and sometimes the coaches have to save the player from themselves. You should have to. You know what I mean? Because good players don't want to come off the field. They always want to go. They always want this, and sometimes they don't even realize that they're hurt here or there. And so you have to look at them and say, hey, something is wrong with you. You know what I mean? Come off the field, take a play. We're gonna find out what's wrong with you right now. That's not okay. Like that your shoulder not moving right now when you're running off the field, that's not normal. We're gonna get you off here and get you some treatment. And so that's kind of based off of my experience. I'm hoping that I'm able to help him and the other youngsters that play ball.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I actually think it should be required, honestly. If it helps prevent or it moves towards helping prevent more injuries later on in life or affecting your life after football. I mean, guys, just think about it. I mean, not many people come into the NFL and play 10 years, okay? Very few guys. Now, if you are one of those guys and you come into the league and you play 10 years and then you're done, what are you, 32, 33? You got a long life ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume you got another 40, 50 years. How do you want to live that life? And if this helps protect you, it's only cosmetic. That's it. Like that's just cosmetic. Put the damn thing on and let's go. Like you wear a helmet. They require you to wear a helmet. Just require people to wear this. That's it. Like, just do it. And then everybody will be on board and we'll just move on from some of the injuries. If we can prevent some of the stuff, it's just like kickoff, right? Everybody was used to how kickoff was. Now they wanted to cut down on some of the big collisions in kickoff. So you see what they've done. They moved kickoff to a different way so you don't have all those big hits anymore, and it's helped. So do this and help the guys, like Briggs said. I mean, it's helping the guys help themselves or keeping them out of harm's way when sometimes they want to put themselves in harm's way and they don't even know it. So they're just going out and they're playing a game that they love to play. They've always played. If this can help alleviate or take away some of those injuries or some of those bad deals down the road, then hell yeah, you do it.
You know, when you look at boxing, there's at the amateur level, you have to wear headgear. You have to wear headgear. You have to wear torso gear as well, torso cut gear. When you get to the professional ranks, you become a prize fighter that's when that stuff comes off. So for me, at any amateur level, anything before the NFL, I think there should be a requirement to wear it. I don't know why it was taking so long for youth football. It should be a requirement for all youth football. Really should be in high school. When you get to the collegiate and the professional level, that's when, maybe the choices, you start to arise. But at the youth, high school level, for sure, they should be wearing guardian caps.
Yep, 100%.
Let me ask you guys this while we're on this topic, because I find this interesting. And when you're talking about protecting the players, I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Kansas City Chiefs game where Patrick Mahomes runs towards the sidelines. He picks up about 15 yards, and the defense pulls up because he's about to the boundary, and they assume he's about to go out of bounds, and then Mahomes pulls the okey doke, stutter steps, and gains another 30, 35 yards up the sideline, one of his longest runs of his career. And when you guys are sitting here talking about protecting the players, there's a defensive player, trying to do right by one of the best player in the league. And then he pulls a fast one on you guys. And I know you guys have had some pretty hard collisions on the sidelines. So what do you make of how do you go about trying to
defensive players' fault, Braggs.
On Mahomes here?
Defensive players' fault, Braggs. Listen, there's a path that you take when that quarterback is running. Okay. And if that quarterback tries to stay on the field, he's going to get hit. If he goes out of bounds, he won't get hit. But there's a path that you take that lets that quarterback know if you try something, you're going to get popped. All right? I'm not going to slow up. I'm going to be running. And at this angle right here. So if you try anything sneaky, slick, you're going to get hit. All right? Now, if you go out of bounds, we're good.
Greg Williams. So when I went down to New Orleans and played that year down there, Greg Williams would have snatched you off the field if you allowed that quarterback to run out of bounds. As long as he is in bounds, there is no brother-in-law. There is no, that's my buddy. There is no, that's Patrick Mahomes. No, you knock the piss out of him, period. He's on the football field. You knock the piss out of him. And then he won't tiptoe down the sideline. He will get his ass out of bounds. So I'm with Briggs. It is definitely the defensive player's fault you go knock the hell out of him. Don't slow up until he is out of bounds. If he don't go out of bounds or he's just going, if he got 1 foot in bounds and he's stepping out, hit his ass.
I'll tell you what he's not going to do, Braggs. If you take that angle that says if he takes any step up, he's going to get hit. What he's not going to do is plant that foot and go inside, go back into the field. He ain't going to do that. He's not going to do that because it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
All right, it's too dangerous for him. So he's either going to go out of bounds or he's going to be foolish enough to take a step up the field. And he takes a step up the field and takes his head off.
Yeah, and then you see the play where he run over the guy at the goal line. See, that's just dumb. Like that can't happen. That quarterback needs to be Cam Newton or something if you're gonna get ran over. And even then, everybody gonna be looking like, God damn, man, you got ran over by a quarterback. Like,
listen, so it's funny you say that, okay? Because we're playing the Vikings and Christian Ponder is running to the sideline. Okay, he's running to the sideline, and I made the mistake of when I got to the sideline of throttling down. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
throttling down, and this sucker, he leaned into me. All right, he leaned into me, and I'm telling you, it was catch technique. It was all of that on the sideline. You know what I mean? His wife is one of the reporters, and they're talking. Oh man, look at this! And now, And the whole time when I hit the ground, I'm laughing. I know, here we go. You know, you're gonna see this at the film room. Oh, yeah. The film room. I got killed on the sideline there. Got killed on my phone with all the text messages.
Mm-hmm.
And then the film room got killed. I tried to go to the bathroom and they waited for me when I got back.
I got a funny story for you guys because you bring up Christian Ponder, married to Sam Ponder. Mm-hmm. And so one time I'm at IU basketball in Bloomington watching Purdue take on IU. Never been to Assembly Hall. If anybody's ever gone, it's a great place to, it's got a lot of history, tradition when you walk in and you can feel that. And so I'd never been there before, and I'm walking down on the court on the baseline, and I just wanted to have a picture, like first time here at Assembly Hall. And there's this girl standing here, and I go, hey, do you mind taking a picture? And I go to stand on the court, like she's going to take my picture, and she gets up like alongside of me and like puts her arm around me like we're taking a selfie. And I look at her like, what are you doing? Like, I just want a picture on the court. And I didn't realize, because this was like when she had really first started doing her thing. And this is Sam Ponder. Like I had to look it up, and then I see her walking around with the ESPN.
This is how this works. You go over there and you take a picture of me.
She was feeling herself a little bit.
Yes, I felt so bad. I was like, what? Oh man, that was probably a humbling moment for her. But I just didn't know. And then all of a sudden she's putting her arm. I'm like, what are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Hey, Brad. This is how I feel. I feel like you feel when Briggs and I are walking, and then somebody come up and they're like, Hey, sir, can you take a picture of me and Briggs? No, I'm not taking a picture of y'all. You're talking about sir, like you don't know me. Like, no, I'm not taking that picture. Oh man.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Hey, she was feeling herself. She was feeling herself a little bit on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, when we were in London, so like people signed up through True Fan Travel, and not everybody that signed up. And shout out to True Fan Travel. We're going to be heading to Arizona here in a couple weeks. Still have time to sign up for our tailgate before the game, our golf outing that we're going to be doing on Saturday morning. We got live pregame, live postgame shows, in Arizona at a bar right by the stadium called Salt. So make sure you hit up True Fan Travel if you want to join any of those events. But when we were in London, there were some people that signed up for the trip that didn't really know who we were. They just wanted to take a travel package to go see the Bears play in London. And so we're like doing these shows. We got all these people. We're at this hotel, and this guy keeps like going like he's talking to me, and I assume he knows who I am. Like, you're on the CHGO Bears trip. And at one point he's like, wait, who the fuck are you? Like, why are you talking to me like you're somebody? I'm like, that was my moment of like, all right, you know, you gotta stop acting like everybody knows you around here because they don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. we all fall victim of that. We all fall victim.
It happens.
Yeah.
Good humbling moment.
Well, let's get into it as we wrap up the show here. Obviously, the biggest matchup of the year. You know, they're only going to get bigger as the season goes along. And now you've got the Bears and Commanders facing off here on Sunday. The NFL thought this was such a big game that they flexed it to the 3:25 window. You know, now Jaden Daniels, you know, right now it doesn't look great that he'll play, but it's not completely a foregone conclusion. So there's still a chance that it's Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams, but more importantly, Jaden Daniels versus the Bears defense, Caleb Williams versus the Bears defense. So it's a big matchup, big NFC implications, two teams that could very well be fighting for the same playoff spot come year's end, two teams that could, you know, potentially meet up in the playoffs. So I'll set you guys up with it. And, you know, what are you guys thinking looking into this game? You got, you know, Caleb Williams starting to build some momentum offensively, you know, with 4 touchdown passes in London, going up against a secondary that is susceptible to the big play with Washington. And then on the other side of the ball, Washington, one of the best offenses in football. They run the ball with authority and creativity with Cliff Kingsbury calling plays. So overall, you know, wherever you guys want to go with this, what are your thoughts on the game here coming up on Sunday?
You know, for Jaden Daniels, this is a situation that you know, reminds me of 04 and when Steve McNair got hurt at Tennessee. He had been hurt for a couple of weeks, and they were, you know, he was due to come back against us, but I think we were leading the league in sacks, you know what I mean, that year, at that point of the year. And they ended up sitting him for another week because it was, you know,
that smoke.
You're right. They were like, this isn't the game that we want to bring it back for. You know, so when I look at that situation, that's got to be one of the factors too about for Jaden to play this week. You know, yeah, is there a possibility you can play this week? Yes, but this defensive line right now, they're hitting home more than a lot of teams in the NFL. This defense is very good. We don't know if this is the week that you should come back if we want you to heal and be, you know, as close to 100% or the long haul of the season.
Right. I know the NFL wouldn't like that. They want these two rookies to go at each other. They want these two teams, these up and coming teams, the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears, to go after each other, and they want them to be as close to 100% as possible because, like you said earlier, Braggs, they're both in the playoffs if the season ended today, right? So I think you said we'd be going there to their place. Man, I want to see it. In the beginning of the season, you had people after the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you got people, including some of our Bear fans, talking about the Bears made the wrong pick. Jaden Daniels is playing well. Why can't they both just be good? I'm on that team. I'm on the team that they're both good. We have a good quarterback. They have a good quarterback. Now, it's never that quarterback against that quarterback, even though that's going to be what they make it seem like. It's going to be our defense trying to stop a quarterback that can throw from the pocket and run and use his legs. You have to take one away. You cannot allow him out of the pocket. If you do, he becomes Superman at that point because he can run. That's why I think they get a lot of their conversions, third and short, where he's converting with his feet, second and long, he's moving the chains with his feet, and you can't allow him to be able to run the football. You can't allow him to be able to get out of the pocket. You got to hit him. And when you get your hands on him, you got to punish him. You got to punish him. He's a thin kid, so you got to punish him, stop the run, make them throw the ball. If you're going to beat the Commanders, I think you beat them by making him throw the football.
But I don't listen, even if he does play, I don't think the option to run is not that he won't do it, but I think he's less likely to do it because of his injury. So if he plays, he's already in a situation where he's probably being told, we need you to stay in this pocket somebody gets close, we need you to go down. You know,
if he does that, we're gonna beat the shit out of him.
We're gonna beat it right. It plays into our
breaks off of him because he's good. He's good because of
that.
Because of all of it, right? So him just standing in the pocket and not like when he's supposed to get out of the pocket, he goes. And it's like right now, and you're like, damn, I almost had him. If he thinks about it, now I'm gonna sit here, he's gonna get sacked, or he's gonna get a strip fumble or something. He got to be himself in order for them to be that. I think they're number 2 offense in the league. In order for them to be that top-notch offense, he has to be himself. And if he's not that, then I think we're gonna beat the hell out of him, honestly.
So everything that we're saying right now is already being said in the Commanders' HQ. That's all that's being said right now in their training room, their HQ, all the front office, all that stuff.
Yep.
So when you break all of this stuff down that we're saying right now, it sounds like he's not going to play. Or at least leaning toward he's not going to play this week.
It'd be down. I'd be a little disappointed, man, if he did.
Yeah, we all. I'm disappointed too.
It's like this year when I'm a Sox fan. I think everybody that know me know I'm a Sox fan. We lose 119 games, and then we get to that record of losing 120. We might as well just damn lose it now. Like I would have been disappointed if we hadn't just broke the record on losing. Like at this point, if I don't see these two play because everybody been talking about how good they are and how Caleb, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Wait, what'd you say about you wanted them to break the record for?
At that point, we lost of 160 games. We lost. We were at like 100. I think we ended up losing like 122. But good Lord, like you lose that many, you might as well just break the record.
That's what I call loser talk. All right. We might as well break the record.
Well, I wasn't playing, so I wouldn't be if I was
41 and 121 losses.
121 losses, bro.
121. Let me ask you guys this, because we were talking to Brian Baldinger yesterday, and he was talking about how to start the game against the Panthers, Washington and Cliff Kingsbury ran 8 different runs with 8 different looks, where they overloaded one time to the left side, overloaded one time to the right side. They countered left but ran right. Then one time they ran into the counter. And there was just some really interesting designed runs. And obviously it's always predicated also off of the threat of Jaden Daniels keeping it and running himself. And that's essentially how he got hurt on the first play of the game, where he keeps it. Nobody's, picking up the quarterback. He runs for 46 yards, and then he ends up hurting his ribs on the end of the run. But at the same time, I'm curious from your guys' standpoint from a defensive perspective, because I think this is the biggest key to the game for the Bears when you're talking about the second best rushing team in the NFL and the Washington Commanders. How do you stay disciplined in your gaps when you have a team that runs so many different creative counters like this, and they're not all like you're pulling guards, and I feel like for you guys as a defensive players, like you're gonna follow that, but like how do you know to not when you know that they're not always going that way, even though they're showing the counter left or right?
But that's but that's not your job though. So if a guard pulls, I need to do my job. If it's a run, I'm going to do my job on that run. Now, for a linebacker, I know if the guard pulls and now it turns out to be a pass, they got to get up out of there. But as a defensive end, I'm looking at my keys and I'm reading my keys, doing my job. If my tackle blocks down, I follow him. I spill everything, period. I don't give a damn if it's 2x1, if it's 2 tight ends. I don't care what it is. If my tackle does this is what I do, period. So do your job. It's going to lead you right to the ball most of the time.
Bragg, I love that stuff. I love that stuff because it's challenging. Now, just like Alex said, listen, we have your keys. We have your keys, but there are things that some of these offenses are doing that mess with those keys a bit, and so when you talk about some of the unique runs that they have, I remember watching San Francisco, and they ran a influence wham trap, okay? So I'm telling you, all of this, you talk about you trying to read your keys, that's going to take you out of your key and then right back, you know what I mean, to where your key says you're not supposed to be. So the tricky part about all of that stuff is it's got shock value. So the first time that it happens, you probably don't know what the hell you're going to do. You probably don't know what you're doing, where you're supposed to fit, and you're getting gashed, running down there 15 yards down the field. And you go to the sideline, you guys review that, and your coach turns to you and is like, we have never seen that before. Okay? But now once it's on tape, now we go through our walkthrough. Our coaches they've already broke it down. This is how we have to play this. All right, this is how we have to play it. So once you do it, it's tough. But once you've seen it defensively, you will figure out how to stop it. But I love that stuff because it's all predicated off of power running, not gimmick running. You know, it's not gimmick running. So you're running a counter, but you're influencing it, and you might have a wham added to it. So you're adding all these different power schemes, and you're making it more difficult for your defensive players to use their keys to get to the ball.
That's really good stuff here as we wrap things up. We always try to wrap things up with the mailman coming to the house, and we need to know, Alex, if you're giving the Bears some advice this week, you know, and you're walking into that locker room, what can Brown do for you, Chicago Bears?
Okay, so I've been in situations like this. We played against Atlanta. As far as the Commanders go, and if Jaden Daniels plays, that's why I say you got to keep him in the pocket. You want a guy like that to beat you from inside the pocket, because if not, and he can get outside the pocket, now he becomes the most dangerous player in the league, and now he can beat you so many different ways. So keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket, and when you get your hands on him, you got to punish this guy. You got to punish. You already know he hurt. Land on him. I know you might get a 15-yarder, but if you get the 15-yarder and he out the game, we'll take the second stringer.
So you're telling guys to play illegal football?
Hey, I'm sorry. Did you not hear me say in the beginning of this? I played with Greg Williams. I played for Greg Williams. All right.
That's a bounty game.
Nah, I mean, we was just knocking the shit out of people. People got offended. We were knocking the hell out of people.
Darkest days of Saints history.
No, I'm just playing. Greg ain't never tell us to hurt nobody, man.
There you go.
Greg ain't never tell us to hurt nobody, but it was making the right tackle, and we took pride in that. And if you got hurt, it's football, man. Hey, shit happens.
Shit happens indeed. I just want to give a quick reminder to everyone. We talked about it earlier. Watch party here coming up on Sunday, October 27th here, just a couple days away. We're going to be at Almost Home Tavern and Grill in Wrigleyville, right down the street from Wrigley Field. We spent a lot of time there during the summer with our Friday 120 clubs. It's a great spot, great food, and we're going to be having a lot of fun there. I'll be there probably for the kickoff of the noon games, setting up the set. We're going to be doing live pregame, postgame show, a live Briggs and Brown show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure if you're in the area to come on by, go to allchgo.com/events to get your tickets. And I'm pretty sure it's a $10 ticket. You get a free drink with that, or you get a drink with that ticket.
What kind of drink? Wait a minute. What kind of drink? Is this like a spike punch type of drink, or like a bourbon?
Miller there.
Well, I do. Mark Carmen is going to buy everyone around too. So I don't know what the drink entails, but then Mark Carmen will get you a shot too. So we look forward to everybody coming out. But why don't you guys paper, rock, scissors for who's going to send us home here on this latest episode of the Briggs and Brown Show.
I'm definitely winning this. Let's go.
Go ahead. You can send them home.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, we appreciate y'all.
Damn, man. I thought we were going to get a little paper, rock, scissors.
Because you know he's going to lose. Hey, we appreciate y'all.
So you're scared, Lance.
We'll see you guys. Hey, you guys be easy. All right, we'll see you. We love you. Gotcha. Yes, we'll see you.
We all silly like the mayor.